What is up, world? You are in tune to the Cowboys Global Cast here at the FFSN Network. We have been gone for a while. Hey, man, a whole bunch of things have happened inside of Cowboy football. And, man, we got to talk about it, man. I really have to talk about what's going on. First and foremost, Dallas Cowboy fans, let's talk about it. The first thing that I want to talk about is Dakota not being signed. Of course, it's the elephant in the room, and we're all thinking about it. We're all thinking about the fact that, why hasn't that been signed? What are they doing? What is the attitude or the thought process here? I can't help but think in my mind that before the season starts, they're gonna sign him. I just can't help but think, right? And the only reason why I said I can't help but think that is because we're going to be able to we're going to talk about the draft here in just a second, but we're going to be able to get some guys in the draft, but we're going to need some more help, some more veteran help. We need to sign Stephon Gilmore back. There are a couple of people that we've got to get some extensions done and some deals done. And we may have to get another running back. I mean, there's rumors of Zeke coming back home, which wouldn't be a bad thought. I honestly would love to see Zeke come back home, but right now I just don't feel like Jerry is doing this and gonna marry Dakota to. I don't believe that he's gonna marry Dak to Coach Mike. And this, like, y'all both are on a 1 year. I mean, first and foremost, that's a lot of money. You're paying $60. I mean, excuse me, $60, $60 million basically, or $59 million to take Dak like that, right? I mean, that's a lot, man. I mean, to pay one player for 1 year. And then say, hey, you're a free agent if you don't perform. I understand he had underperformed in the playoffs, but he also was second in the MVP voting. So you really got to give Dakota some credit. You got to give Dak some credit. And congratulations, Dak, on the birth of your daughter, man. You look good as a father. I love seeing people be fathers. I love it. 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 We wish you all the best here at Cowboys Global Cast. Next thing, man, let's go ahead and kick it into overdrive, man. I mean, here's the deal. We signed Kendrick at linebacker, right? So we have another linebacker. Let's not forget we got Mike Zimmer here as a coach. Mike Zimmer's defenses has always been pretty good. You can count on them being pretty good. We promoted Al. He's a defensive coach. I'm happy about that. We get Overshown back now. Of course, these were ACL tears, and but I mean, these guys are working to get back. We get Overshown back. So, and we still got Damone. Our linebacker room is still pretty tight. You know what I'm saying? Still pretty tight. Could we use some help? I think we got some young boys on the roster that I think is going to do some things and accomplish some things for real. So honestly, when I sit down and I'm thinking about that, I'm like, okay, the linebacker room is tough, right? We also get Stevens back, the big tight end who had some promise, man. And just to go along with Fergie, that's a good sign of having another weapon that Dak could go to when we're in the 11 and 12 personnel. I'm going to address a rumor at the end of the show. We'll talk about it. But let's get on this draft, man. This draft is so deep. There are at least 65 starters in it that are in this draft. 65. And I'm talking about the first 65. And I'm being generous. Muhammad Kamara is at 131. Muhammad Kamara is 6'1", 250, defensive end from Colorado State. He was the one that was just electric out here against Colorado, but we found out Colorado didn't have no line. But he was really good the rest of the year, and he run like a sub 4.4 40. The guy's pretty fast. Or it's a 4.4 4.5 40. Guy's fast. right? And he's at 131, and he's a really, really. Now the only knock on this guy is that he gets penalties, right? But I'm going to tell you, this guy's going to start on somebody's team, and he's going to contribute, and that's at 131 on the PFF. We're on the PFF board. He's 131, right? So 131. That's just trying to tell. I'm trying to tell you how much talent is in here, man. Chop Robinson had 43. Like, man, bro. Like what I'm telling you right now, man, is you have a plethora of talent in this draft. So, and we're sitting at 24. We're sitting at 24 real deep, and I like it. I like where we're sitting. In the draft at 24. But I got some things and some people that if I seen them in the draft and if I was making a pick, if it was me making this pick and I seen them guys sitting in the draft, I'm running up to the podium and I'm putting in I'm running up to the podium and I'm putting in my pick really, really fast, right? The first player at 24, let's see, we pick at 24 and we pick at 56, right? So I'm gonna tell you what I would do with these picks. Number one, first player if I see up there, Adnan Mitchell. Hear me out, you guys. Dakota hadn't had a two receiver since Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb was here. And CeeDee ran the slot. So he wasn't the second wide receiver. Michael Gallup was still the X, right? And CeeDee was in the slot. So to give Adonai Mitchell is one of the top 5 receivers in this draft. If he falls to us at 24, Jerry, run to the freaking podium and get this guy locked up, man. He's a guy that I want to see, right? At that 24 pick. The other guy is Troy Fontenot from Washington, the tackle. If I see him there and he's there and Adonai's not there, I want that guy. Amaris Mims. He's sitting there at 24. He's a tackle from Georgia. I want that guy. I want him. And Tyler Guyton. He's there. Now, there's some no-brainers like Keon Coleman from Florida State. Let me go back to Tyler. Tyler is an Austin guy. And, of course, I'm in Austin. Maine, Texas guy. Hate that he played for OU because, I don't like nothing about OU. I want all the bad things that like to happen in Oklahoma and only Oklahoma. But being that he's a local kid, man, I wish him well. I think he's going to go in the first round. This is a kid who's been playing tackle all of 2 years. 2 years. And if you've seen what he did to Byron Murphy and those guys at the Senior Bowl, unbelievable. He was blocking them. He was keeping them off of them. And I mean, that's something. That's an accomplishment. You know what I mean? That's an accomplishment. But yeah, if you see Byron or Keon Coleman, these are guys I wouldn't pass. Keon Coleman, Adonai Mitchell are legit first 24 picks in this draft, right? And I think if we see those two guys, if either one of those two guys flip, I want us to take a number 2 because we're not going to have the money to pay or the assets to go get a Tyler Boyd or to go get the other wide receiver from Cincinnati. We're not going to have that. So let's get one of these wide receivers who are going to be day one starters. Adonai's a day one starter. 4.35 40, 6'2", 6'3", rangy catch radius is out through the roof. Yeah, I mean, he's going to run by people. He knows how to position his body. He knows how to catch the ball. And that's what and here's the other thing about Adonai Mitchell. He's a big game receiver. He shines in the big games. This guy shows out when it counts the most. When the lights are on, that brother's on doing what he's supposed to do, and he's making that fetty. You know what I mean? So I want a player like that. Now, In the second round at number 56, if we were, and I'm picking for the Cowboys, if I see somebody like Jonathan Brooks or Trevondre Sweat there, Jonathan Brooks at running back, he blew out his knee, blew out his ACL, but our doctors did the surgery, and they say he's ahead of schedule. And I'm going to tell you something about that young man. That young man has patience. He has grit. He can run in between the tackles, and he's got a little bit of explosiveness about him. Probably is the number one running back in the draft. If because I know he would have won the award for the top running back. He was already there. He had already rushed for 1,000 yards. He was there. He was putting in the boogie. He was putting in the work before he got hurt. And Trevondre Sweat is a true mountain to move. If you take a player like Trevondre Sweat and you put him in the Dallas colors and you put him on that Dallas line, now you got somebody to take some pressure off of those linebackers, let them scrape and play the way they want to play fast. We still, Mavi Smith is still a question mark. You know what I mean? Osa's there, but Osa's undersized. We don't need to be run off the ball anymore. That don't need to happen. If you think about what Zim does, Zim likes those two big mountains, Pat Williams and the other Williams, Kevin Williams. Those were the guys that he had when he was in Minnesota, and those guys were mountains. They were mountains to move, right? So playing under Zim, I think he's gonna want some oversized D tackles that's going cause a pile. They're not gonna make it easy for offensive linemen to scrape and get to. So at 56, that would be my pick. Those are the people that I would look at. I would love to see us go wide receiver, running back, or go wide receiver, tackle, or go tackle, wide receiver. Either one of those two would be great for me. Even tackle, running back. I mean, it's so deep as far as wide receivers in this draft that you could get a good one in the third round. You definitely could. And for me, that would be something that I would be really excited for us to see. Now, of course, I have my mock draft, you guys. Where would I be if this time of year we didn't put in a mock draft? So we got, some mock draft stuff to show you. I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the screen. I want you guys to check this out. My mock draft. I have a couple of them, but to me, if I saw us get these players, this would blow my mind. I think, we be cooking with grease and it'd be ready to go, man. Here you go. So if you look on my draft board and you're checking it out, the first one I got two that I really want you to see. The first one I got is Byron Murphy at number 24. Jalen Polk, the wide receiver from Washington, at number 56. At number 87, Trey Benson, running back, Florida State. When I tell you that would be a great pickup, that would be a great pickup. This first one, I'm just saying, man, put it in, let this simmer, and our food is cooked. You know what I'm saying? Ladarius Henderson, the tackle from Michigan. If you know anything about Michigan, their O-line this year was phenomenal. All these guys could block, all these guys could play, and getting a player like Ladarius at 174 would be awesome. Jalen Ford. Jalen Ford was one of the middle linebackers from Texas, played really, really well, was up for the top linebacker in the nation for a little while. He, definitely had great stats, put up great numbers at Texas. Jalen Ford would be an asset. Willie Roberts, cornerback from Louisiana Tech at 233, and Andrew Ryan, the center, at 244. This draft I loved, right? I loved it. This was my first mock draft that I did. And this addresses all of the Cowboys' key points. Defensive line, wide receiver, running back, and tackle. It addressed everything that we need in those first couple of picks, right? The next one is, of course, and you see I put it up here. Adnan Mitchell was available at 24. I'm going to go get him. At 24, I'm getting him. They got him ranked the number 30 on the PFF board. And if he makes it to 24, we should run. I'm talking about not walk, run. He's a Texas kid. Go get him. He would love to be a Cowboy. Nothing better than to be a Cowboy. At 56, Braden Fisk was available. Now, Braden showed out at the combine. I mean, he impressed at the combine, and everybody loved him. And then at 87, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. was available. Now, I know that everybody's saying he looks slow, but I'm going to tell you, man, pedigree, and he's a football player. He's a football player. I would love to have a guy like Jeremiah Trotter over on the other side, pushing the linebackers that we have currently, right? You know what I mean? Because we got to get younger. And then Hunter Norzad from Penn State, center, a little bit of a reach, but getting linemen is important at this point. Lineman, he's a center who can also play guard. That's why we signed back. Oh my gosh, I can't even think of his name right now. But we signed him back, number 71, and I'm upset that we signed it back because, oh gosh, like I don't really need him. Like, I mean, what do we need him for? But anyway, we need depth at the offensive line because we lost Tyron and we lost Biadasz. And then at pick number 26, which is a good pick, Jace McClellan. If Jace is there at 216, bro, I mean, that's a pick, bro. Honestly, you get a good running back, a sleek running back, somebody who can handle all of the carries. He just got better as the year went on for Alabama, and definitely like him. Curtis Jacobs, linebacker from Penn State. I'm gonna tell you something. Penn State and linebackers are synonymous. So if we end up getting a linebacker from Penn State and it picked 233, I mean, I would definitely love that pick. And then, of course, KT Leviston, tackle at 244, with 10 spots apart right there. And look, I'm happy. That's an A- draft. The other one before you, that was an A draft right there. So, I mean, I'm interested in hearing you guys, man. You guys tell me about your draft, and I want to hear about you guys' as mock drafts. I want to hear who you guys see us getting, who you guys want us to get. Definitely, we can talk about that some more. Honestly, when it comes down to it, the last thing that I wanted to address is we're talking about tanking, right? If this team was to tank, right? And just so they could get Shedeur Sanders, I'll be super upset. You look at this picture of Shedeur that he shared. He was really happy about it. He was happy about, the possibility of being a Cowboy. I love Deion. I love Shedeur. You guys know that. You guys know. Y'all have heard me talk about it. And you've heard me talk about it on several different occasions on different shows. But I love my Cowboys. And I don't want to see us purposefully tank just so that we could pick up a father and a son. Although I wish Deion the best. I love Deion. I love him without a shadow of a doubt. But man, that would be so hard for me to watch my team just lay down and take L's all year so that we could get a coach and a quarterback. And would it be like Jerry? It absolutely would be like Jerry because that's a money play. The money that Deion would bring into AT&T Stadium. The money. He's a cash cow. We all know that. The money that Shedeur would bring. Now, is Shedeur that talented? He is. Shedeur is probably going to be the first pick in the draft, if not the first 5, if not the first one, right? Shadour's like that, and he's about to prove that to y'all this year. But I just couldn't see it, man. It would break my heart. And after all these years of being a Cowboy fan, I'm not gonna say I would be done. My fandom would be hurt. My fandom would be hurt for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Now, would I still report? Absolutely. I'm gonna give you guys content regardless, because you know that's who I am. I'm gonna give you content. I love my team. We're gonna talk about it. But as far as me being so outspoken for my team and the organization, I won't anymore, because that shows me at this point of the game, you don't care about winning. You care about your bottom line. And I don't want to believe that that's the truth. So I just think everything that you're hearing about Shador and hearing about Dion, about, you know, him tanking to go ahead and get Shador and Dion, I don't believe it. That's why I believe that Dak will be signed by the time we get into camp, and by the time that it's time to, you know, really start making things. I think there'll be a contract that's signed between Dak and the Cowboys. Well, I thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Make sure that you like and subscribe, like us here on the YouTube channel. If you have a place where you listen to podcasts, you can definitely listen to those podcasts there. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, everywhere you find the podcasts that you listen to, we're there as well. My co-host Tom hadn't been able to get on. We both have been, you know, working out some things, doing some things, but we're gonna be back here giving you more content, giving you more Dallas Cowboy coverage as we get closer to the draft. I am super excited and stoked. Like I said, this is probably the deepest draft that we've had in maybe 10 plus years. This draft is deep, man. It's really deep. You don't have to reach on players in this draft. You can go BP8 and get starters, right? I'm telling you, you go best player available and get starters. And if we have any of these players on the board, and I'm talking about any of them at 24, I won't be mad. I'm gonna give you my I won't be mad list. Okay, you've heard some of them, but this is my I won't be mad list. Adnan Mitchell, I won't be mad. I won't be mad at all. You know, he played at Georgia. In big moments he was good. Texas, big moments he was good. I won't be mad, right? Jalen Polk, I won't be mad. I won't be mad. I will not be mad if they run his name up to the podium. Xavier Leggett, South Carolina wide receiver, I won't be mad, man. I won't be mad at all. This guy's a tank. He's built like DK Metcalf, got the same type of speed. He has burners. He got jets. Troy Fontano from Washington, the tackle, won't be mad. Won't be mad. Run his name up to the thing. Amaris Mims won't be mad. Not at all. Won't be mad. Listen to me. This is my won't be mad list. Remember these names. I said it. Remember these names. Amaris Mims, Georgia tackle. Tyler Guyton, OU tackle. I won't be mad. He's a hometown kid from Austin. Gonna be playing up there with a star on his helmet. I won't be mad. Not at all. Byron Murphy, won't be mad. Won't be mad at all. He's a beast and a menace. He's gonna be a menace in the NFL. I promise you. Keon Coleman, people say, oh, he was slow. He ran a 4.6 140. Yeah, but they clocked him over 20 miles an hour on the gauntlet drill. And hey, man, the boy was running. He was flying. I just think he had a bad time in the 40. That happens. Some people are faster in pads. It just is what. Plus, his catch radius is through the roof. So I won't be mad at 24. If you pick any one of those guys, I will not be mad. I will be happy. I will rejoice. Everything will be everything. I will be happy. I'm telling you, I will not be mad. But like I said, make sure you like and subscribe. Catch up with us on the next one. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for rocking with me at Cowboys Global Cast here on the FFSN Network. It's your boy, Mod. Guess what? I'm out of here. We'll see you later. Peace.